On April 9th, 2026, the Ohio Venture Pipeline will present the OVP Class of 2025 and All-Star Awards presentation at the iconic Ohio State House, similar to last year's event. I'd like to thank you for being a member of our host committee and let you know that we appreciate your support and the support of so many from the community in Ohio and the region. This recording has been edited for brevity, but it captures the insights and energy from the host committee meeting we had last Friday, December 12th, where we shared updates on sponsorship opportunities, our past performance highlights, and our plans to continue to elevate the visibility of our deal flow, celebrate our select all-stars, and to connect key players in Ohio's thriving innovation and venture ecosystem. Let's dive in.
But I wanted to welcome everybody and thank you for joining. I'd like to start out by pointing out what a great ecosystem we have. All of these events that I've been attending for the last several years, but more importantly, just in the last few months, I've been on the road for a lot of events in Columbus, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Chicago, Madison. Most of the people that are in this room have attended a lot of these events on these name tags. But we've met with leaders from 11 states in the entire region, and we validated three things that we're hearing all over the place. Number one, that Ohio and the Midwest region, we have all the ingredients needed to attract 5 to 10 times the amount of venture capital deal flow that we have right now. Secondly, that we have great deals here, but they don't have a lot of visibility. There's a lot of people both here and across the nation that are not aware of great deals that are here. We don't like the flyover country label, but I think unfortunately, until we show them the deals that are here, that label will continue to stick, and that's why we do what we do. And that leads me to the third point is that we have great stories to tell here in this region, but there's plenty of room for us to do a better job of telling our stories to the right people in the right way, in the right place. So thank you for being a part of helping us to share these stories. These are the 12 All-Star recipients for the first half of 2025. There's 12 of them. We announced them at the mid-year review in Cleveland at VC Fest in September, and we will be awarding another 12 for the second half, and we will honor all 24 of them at the Ohio State House. And the date that you can mark on your calendars, unless anybody on this call has a conflict, we're looking at Thursday, April 9th. Registration at 3:30 in the afternoon, private reception at 4, public event at 5. So we're adding some new things to this. We're doing more PR around them. We're putting the headshots of the actual people in there, the founders and the co-founders. We also started and just launched. I recorded this week the first ever Ohio Venture Pipeline podcast episode with Katie Trouth-Taylor of Narratize. And congratulations, Todd Fetterman of North Coast Ventures, leading that round, along with a cast of very talented and excellent investors as well. And I wanted to share just a little comment that Katie gave that I think is really helpful, and we'll incorporate this into the main presentation at the State House.
We are so honored for this recognition, especially in the Midwest. Don't be afraid to claim and own your status as a Midwest startup. There's a lot of benefit to investors working with Midwestern founders. We are capital efficient. We have a ton of grit and resilience, and we won't give up. And those are all the attributes that you need to succeed. And thank you again so much, Ohio Venture Pipeline, for recognizing us. See you soon.
And so what you'll see more and more with everything that we're doing is to shine the spotlight on these founders and hear from them more than from me, because they're the rising stars, and if they win, we all win. And so we're looking to fill out these slots for the second half. So we're taking nominations now for 12 All-Stars from the second half. The qualifications are, they have to be headquartered in Ohio. They must have raised money in the second half of this calendar year. And preferably, we look for companies that have a nice blend of both local and out-of-state investors, because we want to shine the spotlight on those, and hopefully we'll get more of those. So the reason that we do the venture pipeline is because it drives jobs. Most of you have probably seen the study that I've mentioned before, that there's a 30-year study looking at 67,000 venture-backed companies. that proves that venture capital grows jobs 8 times faster than any other source of net new private sector jobs. And even in economic downturns, it grows 4x faster. So, in addition to the amazing work that Jobs Ohio and everybody's doing in getting the big deals like the Andurils and the Intels and all of those, and it's also true, it's a both and strategy. We also need to be feeding the pipeline of early stage companies and helping them to progress through the region and get bigger and grow and raise more money and have exits. The inventory of VC-backed companies continues to grow, steady up and to the right. And so the natural question that we have for Ohio and for the region in general is how much of this market share will we capture? Because in the first wave of the internet and mobile and cloud, I don't feel like we got our fair share. And I think we would like to capture more. And I think one of the greatest ways is to tell these stories. Currently, we represent less than 2% of nationwide venture capital deals, and we're starting to layer additional data on top of the data that we already have to show comparisons to GDP per capita and so forth to see which regions are capturing more market share based on different factors. The one factor that we look at a lot is the amount of federal research money that goes through the state, and it's billions of dollars. And I think that alone is one of the characteristics that we point out that gives us the capacity to do significantly greater amount of deals. So our part in that is to help elevate, celebrate, and connect this ecosystem. We have a great ecosystem. We have great programs, and our invitation is that once a year, we invite everybody to come to the State House, and together we'll celebrate our collective wins as a group. That visibility will create better connectivity. I talk about it as sort of the connective tissue, and hopefully that attracts more deal flow. That's the whole point. For the people that sponsored last year, thank you very much for your support. We were successful in getting 68,000 LinkedIn impressions. It was just a 5-week campaign. There were only 20 posts, and we got 68,000 impressions. So I think the idea that storytelling carries is true, because when we post those all-stars in particular on LinkedIn, we tag the management, the board, the investors, and so forth. And so again, that free PR is really helping to spread the word in addition to what everybody else is doing. State House visibility is obviously a great thing for everyone. It's good for the startups to be there. We're trying to get as many elected representatives to come and meet the startups as well. And we actually have the detail to support the 68,000. We've got each the lists on here. If you're interested in seeing that detail, I'm happy to send it to you. But in short, last year, it was a 5-week campaign with 20 posts and 68,000 impressions and 1,000 engagements. This year, we're going to do a much longer campaign with many more posts, along with the tombstones and the podcast. So we're confident in our ability to continue to drive those traffic numbers up and make your brands, front and center when it comes to supporting startups. And in fact, we're getting additional carry that's not even included in those numbers. Cincy Tech, for example. Last year, they had 6 portfolio companies that received the Ohio Venture Pipeline All-Star Award. And you can see that we're getting some of this organic reach where they're posting things and, putting these things together with their logo and theirs. And so we're getting a lot of good carry on that. We've worked hard for the last few years to put on these events. So we've been consistent in our semi-annual delivery, and we plan to continue that. And then we've actually expanded our programs regionally. Some of you know this, but many of you don't, is that we publish the quarterly reports for Ohio Life Sciences. And we've done 7 of those in partnership with Spoke Design. I think Gene is probably on here. Gene and his team do an amazing job in partnership with our group to put these reports together every quarter. We're getting some great feedback on it and literally thousands of downloads. We also published an annual report for Wisconsin, for BioForward Wisconsin. They got a $49 million federal tech hub designation grant, in addition to other funds that they received. In fact, they had me speak at the Wisconsin BioHealth Summit in October. And we did one in Illinois. We're about ready to do that one again. We released this one in August, and great partnership there. And there seems to be a lot of interest in doing this regionally. All the reports that we publish the foundation is the data about the deals that get done. I think our ecosystem does a phenomenal job of having pitch fest competitions. And our celebration is unique in that we celebrate the deals that are already done. And so we start with that as the foundation. And then we work our way up with national trends, funding trends, company highlights, and state trends. And we will have some sector reports coming out. These are the 11 states that we're expanding into in partnership with the Council of State Bioscience Associations. We'll be publishing a regional report as well as a tombstone campaign in partnership with those 11 organizations. And just to give you some sense of the scale and scope of deals, in that 11 state region. I did a quick look just of year-to-date deals in each of those 11 states, and there's 1,500 deals. Illinois, dominated by Chicago, of course, is 390 deals. Ohio in second place at 233, and on down the line. And in all of our conversations with stakeholders in these groups, there's a real desire and interest in working together to publicize the deals that we have here so that we can attract more capital. And everybody seems to agree with the chorus that we win together as a region. So the capital that's flowing in so far, looking at the first half of the year, actually overall in our data lake, we've personally scrubbed and tagged over 920 deals that happened in the state of Ohio since January 1 of 2022. So it's a highly tagged, customized, curated database. In the first half of this year, we added 146 deals that raised just shy of $800 million, and that will be included in the full report. Most of you already know our process for scrubbing the data. We're very diligent about that, but we're not perfect. So as we send these materials to you, if you see any errors in there or additions, something that's missing, please send us an email so that we can update that. The email is data@smartmoneyventures.com. This is the trend from 2017 to 2025. We're on track to do just a slight uptick in dollars from last year. By industry, it's very common for us to see technology and software and life sciences be sort of the two largest ones. The deal count by industry is also neck and neck. And by stage of development, much like we see in other regions of the country, we have a healthy crop of seed stage companies. And we as a community want to do everything that we can to support these companies so that we have greater graduation rates every year and every quarter. So the program, the reason we're here. So we plan on having the event on Thursday, April 9th. There will be a 3:30 check-in for the private reception that starts at 4. And then 4:30 registration check-in, the program at 5, the panel at 5:30, the All-Star Awards and the happy hour to follow. Last year, we had the panel discussion with Terry Searset from Dossi Simulations, Josh Reed from Lunch Table, and Shane Bigelow from Champ. And this year, we're planning on having Katie Troth-Taylor on the panel, and we're currently accepting nominations from All-Star CEOs for the other two. So if you have a good one that you want to suggest for the panel discussion, that would be great. Let us know. Private reception is one of the main reasons you want to be a sponsor. That'll be with just the All-Star CEOs, the elected officials, and sponsors. It's a great way to interact with some of the leaders of our state, as well as the fact that there is a governor election coming up in the next 12 months. So I think it's probably a good thing to be as visible as possible, supporting these startup companies that are hopefully driving high-paying jobs going forward. The All-Star program, as you know, we select these and we get custom awards for each All-Star. They get recognized at 2 events, and there's that private reception. We have a new sponsor category, is the title sponsor will be able to actually have their logo on the tombstones. So these are the tombstones. You probably see them in these nice gold frames. And then we also do the oversized ones on fiberboard and put those up in the rotunda at the State House. And so the new title sponsor opportunity will actually add your logo to all of the tombstones up here, as well as give you a 30-second pre-roll and post-roll on the new podcast. These are all of the All-Stars from last year. And it's exciting to see some of the progress of these companies. Most of you probably saw Dossi Simulations has had some really big wins this year. They recently signed with the Cleveland Clinic and with Medtronic strategic deals. And they're really taking off in terms of customer traction as well. So it's exciting to see them continue their progress. These are the first half All-Stars, 12 of them. And as I mentioned before, we're looking for nominations for the second 12. in the second half. So please shoot me an email with those names and information. So how you can help, and then we'll open it up for questions. So first of all, help us spread the word. Help us spread the word on LinkedIn. Primarily, one of the things about LinkedIn is that when we post things up on there, it would be awesome if you could like, comment, and repost because the algorithm really likes that. So the easiest and cheapest way to help us spread the word is when we post something, or I might forward you the post. Please repost, like, and comment because the algorithm likes that engagement. We'll provide you some prepackaged things to put in your email newsletters. So you can just drop a paragraph into your existing newsletter to let people know. You'll see the first of these promotions next week for the save the date for April 9th. And there's a couple of hashtags that we have on here that when I send this to you, you can also use it. So on sponsorship, several reasons that you want to sponsor. There's a lot of cost involved in putting on an event like this. And as I mentioned, when we get a new governor, we want to be visible in front of that. And on the timing, it's December, so please be sure to put a line item on your budget for this event. And we're going to start our promotions next week, so we encourage you to get signed up for our sponsorship as soon as possible so you can get the full value of the campaign with your logo on the promotional materials. These are the stakeholders that we see in our audience at each of our events as well as online. And we put your brand everywhere that matters. And the pricing is the same as last year with the addition of the title sponsorship. So bronze is 2,000, silver is 5,000, gold is 10,000, title sponsor is 25,000. That includes your logo on the deal tombstones, as well as a 30-second pre-roll and 30-second post-roll on the podcast episode with each of the All-Star CEOs. The title sponsor will open up the primary program on stage, and the gold sponsor will also get one slide that they can show their portfolio companies or client companies, along with a 3-minute on-stage presentation. So there's a good incentive to be either a gold or a title sponsor as well. Get plenty of tickets with your sponsorship, and we hope that you will put this as a line item on your budget. We already kind of looked this is where the sponsor logo is going to go on the tombstones. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. The title sponsorship, you will be where Chris Berry is standing in this picture. You'll be able to get a photo with the All-Star CEOs and the award. We have a great host committee, and I really appreciate everybody taking the time to come, and I really appreciate your support of the Ohio Venture Pipeline. And it's a great community. I'm consistently heartwarmed by how warm and welcoming our business community is. And I think that's one of our greatest assets, and I think it will help us attract more capital. We're grateful for partnership and sponsorship over time these are people that in the past have sponsored or been a community partner with us. We're really grateful for that support. And we only have one title sponsorship available and 2 gold sponsorships available. So please let us know so we can secure your spot. And we look forward to seeing everybody at the State House. And with that, we will take some questions.
One quick one, JD. Has there been any dialogue at the state level out of Third Frontier or related entities about a revisiting of what was it called? Just investor tax credit, I believe it was. I think this predates your return to Ohio. But Todd, you remember that? I mean, what are we going back 10 years, 12 years that we had that?
Yeah, I remember it fondly.
Yeah.
It was a very attractive and I think by all means successful program. I'm not aware of anything percolating right now, but I think there is hope that there is enough muscle memory within the department and Mike McKay and team that with a new governor, it might be revisited. But I don't think there's any likelihood in the interim.
Okay. All right. Just raising it, JD, because at some point, maybe not this go round, but at some point that might be an interesting topic for us to embrace. Would be some of the state level consideration for the investor side of the business.
I absolutely agree. I think it would be a great thing for us to have. In fact, I remember that's when I first met you, Todd, when I was living in California. And I met you at the Angel Capital Association meeting. And you told me about this investor tax credit in Ohio. And I'm like, Dude, that's amazing. We'd kill for that in California.
Yes.
So yeah, that would be great if we could get some of that back. Nobody knows what's going to happen when there's a new governor in, but the whispers that I've heard in the background is that we're going to take a fresh look at things, and hopefully we'll be able to have that on the list, Hugh, of things that we need. In fact, some of the work that we're doing now, looking at the 11 state region, is a table comparing the different programs that each of the states have for startups. For example, the one that I really love right now is Jobs Ohio is literally writing $15,000 checks for relocation if you're bringing a STEM person into a rapid growth company. Uh, that's amazing. That's phenomenal. I haven't looked to see if other states are doing anything like that. But that's huge because getting talent on board is the number one thing to growing a company after you raise the money and get the customers. So I think that's a phenomenal thing.
Yeah, yeah, I have a just on me. I have a lobbyist working with me on another project, and he's been around for many years. I'll chat with him about it, see if there's any, any information that is percolating around. I'll share it with you, but it's just something that in the future might be a good topic for us. So that's all I.
Absolutely. Excellent. And Kevin, it was good to see you the other day at the Ohio Life Sciences event. That was really, really good. And I connected with Samantha Parsons as well. So
Yeah, that's great. Samantha's going to do a lot of work supporting us from an ecosystem perspective. So she's a good add to the team.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thanks for being a part of this, Kevin. We really appreciate your support. Gene Powell is on the line, and he and his team are responsible for how good our slides look, as well as all of the other reports that we published, which are amazing. We've gotten such great feedback, particularly on the Wisconsin and report as well. But Gene, did you want to say hello or add anything to what I
Oh
what
no,
I've
I
shared?
appreciate the kind words. Just great to share space with so many impressive individuals, and we're happy to support everything that you're doing, JD. So let's keep the party going and have an amazing event.
Excellent. Chris Berry, I know you're on. Is that the Chris Berry Ohio X or Shell Resources? We have two of those.
I'll let you take a guess.
Good to see you, Chris. How are you?
Good to see you guys as well, and I appreciate being on the call. I see some of my favorite people here with Hugh and Tashar and a lot of other folks as well. So yeah, appreciate being on the call.
Absolutely. And it's this is a great group of people. In fact, Tushar and I are starting some conversations about how he can help us. The one-man band thing is not going to continue in 2026, of course. And so we're gathering some resources now that we've kind of got a running start. And William Tobble is also on with us today. Thank you for being here, William. William, you want to say hello and just give a little bit of background about what you're doing with Case Western and the foundation?
Yeah, of course. Hi everyone. My name is William Tavel, if we haven't met before. If you all happen to know a gentleman by the name of Bob Sopko before he passed away, I have taken over Bob's role at Case Western Reserve University. And so I serve three official functions. The first is just like Bob, I'm a community anchor and community builder. The second thing I do is I run the student accelerator, where I kind of get student technology up and running and formalized. And then the third thing I do is I help professors commercialize technology through the tech transfer office, whether that be via licensing, creating their own startup, just selling off the IP, kind of advising them on that journey. And my background is from the World Bank Group, where I did technical due diligence for investment banking. And I'm just a huge data nerd, and I'm always excited to work with people who are other data nerds. So anything that OVP is doing to create more transparency around data, I'm always excited for.
And that's where William and I really hit it off. And most of you that know me know I'm a data nerd too. So we get together and nerd out together, and it's awesome. Josh Borean, I see you're on. Thank you very much for being one of our key sponsors last year at the event, and it's good to see you here. You want to talk a little bit about some of the work that you're doing in the community?
Sure, I'm happy to jump on. Thanks for having me today. I see a lot of familiar faces, Hugh, Tushar, and nice to meet the rest of you. I'm an attorney with Ice Miller in our business group in the venture capital vertical. So I work with funds and portfolio companies, mostly around capital raise transactions. So everything that we're talking about and highlighting here with the venture pipeline. And we in addition to that, we work with companies as outside general counsel and just helping them through their daily issues that they face. But I'm really excited about everything that I continue to hear through this group in particular. It really sort of highlights the success that we are having in Ohio and the Midwest region in general. And always, trying to see and get involved in as many of the conversations and transactions because it continues to preach, what's good for one company and one founder is great for the whole ecosystem. So happy to be part of this group and look forward to sponsoring again this year.
Excellent. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Yeah, Josh is a great guy to know if you don't already know him. In fact, he sponsored the North Coast Ventures Mandrake Happy Hour down here in Columbus. Very successful gathering. And, I have to say, it's really refreshing to see that, Todd, because a lot of people talk about how, oh, Cleveland and Columbus and Cincinnati, they don't really collaborate and stuff like that. And I think you're shattering that. And we need more of that.
We're trying, all of us.
Absolutely. We do. We win together as a region. And, the Ohio Discovery Corridor brand is also a great way to spread that word. And in all my travels at all these events in the last several months, everybody agrees that we can and should do a better job of telling our stories. And I think there's a variety of ways that we can do that, not only in what we've already done with the venture pipeline and the reports, but you'll see some more programs that we're rolling out in 2026 on a quarterly basis, where we're probably going to have some regional online events so that we can establish that connectivity and that reach as well. And so we'll be inviting all of you to be a part of that as well. Thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to talking again soon. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody.
Thanks, JD. Take care, all.
Thanks very much.